Welcome back, guys. We have done a lot of stuffs at front end. Now we can view the product, we can filter the product. We do have a registration and that works perfectly. We have a login and we have all the dashboard where admin can manage all the stuffs, but we do not have the such a features that helps us to distinguish between a normal user and admin. Okay, currently I can go and create a category even if I'm a normal user, so we'll protect that using a middleware. But for now, in this video, I'm going to add one more field here in my existing users table that helps me to know whether the user is admin or not. And I'm going to add one column that will be the is admin, and is admin will be 0 by default. That means the user is not an admin, and if it's 1, then user is admin, and if it's admin, then it can create a category, it can do a lot of stuff. Okay, so let's add one more column to our existing table. So to add, let's go here and I'll clear this, and it's basically command. So I'll write a PHP artisan and then make migration migration, and then you can add, and what do we want to add? We want to add is admin. This will be our attribute is admin to users table. So we are adding is admin to use table, and then we'll give dash table table, and here we'll give users users, which is our table name. So this is created, and let's go here in the migration. So if you go to the migration, we should see this one. Okay, so in the database we have the migration, and let's remove this one for now. And if we go here in the migration, okay, so here is the users, and now here we'll add that table column name. Okay, so here we write table table, and int is your integer. It will be is admin admin, and default will make this 0. So whenever a user create an account, they will have is admin field as 0. That means the user is not an admin. And let's come here and let's write table and drop column column and column, and name of column is adm and admin. Okay, and now let's migrate. So PHP artisan migrate. This has been migrated, and if you go here, now we should see is admin. Okay, and by default this is 0. Okay, welcome back, guys. Now let's make a serial file for our admin, and let's create one admin. So let's open our terminal, and here I'll write PHP. First let me clear this. PHP artisan make seeder, and I'll write user table seeder. So this will create a seeder user table seeder file. So if you go to seeder, then you should have the user table seeder. Okay, and here we'll make the seeder. So you can write like this: use app model / user, and then we can create the admin user. So user create, and this will be our admin. Okay, so user create, and let's give the name as admin. We can give a name, email. Let's give this as admin@gmail.com, and password, it need to be hashed. So I'll write hash make, or you can also decrypt it. Password, the password will be simply password, and make sure you have use hash here, hash, which comes from illuminate/support/fastget/hash. Give the full namespace, and the most important thing now here is admin, that will be the one. Okay, so is admin is now 1, and that means he is an admin. So now we can seed this file. So let's only seed the user table seeder. So just to seed one file, we can write a command php addition db seed, and if you write db seed, all the seeder file again it will seed. So I just want to seed the user table, so I have to specify that class name should seed, and then I can give the dash class equals to name user tab added table seeder seeder, and this is seeded. And let's make sure that we also, so we have a data table here, we also call this seeder here. That means whenever we seed all this file, we also seed the user table seeder, user table seeder. And now if you go here, then now we must have one more user, which is the admin, and the is admin is now, it should be 1, and this is 1. Okay, everything is fine. Now if I go and let's create one account, so let's refresh, let's migrate serve, and this should still work perfectly. So let me create one fake account, register, and everything is fine, and my user is now here, which is 60 user, and is admin is now 0. Now we have an admin, so let's log in with an admin. So admin admin, I think it was admin@gmail.com, and password was simply password. So now I am logged in as an admin. Now let's go to the admin section. Let's go to the auth category or any auth, and now let's implement here logout. Okay, so first we'll implement logout. So to implement a logout, first we have to go into your backend, and the layouts you have a header, and here is the logout, and we have setting also, so I'll remove this setting. Now we have a logout, and let's copy this logout from the layouts folder, which is outside, which is within the outside of backend folder, which is this one, and in the app. And here you can see, so we have the form first, so let's copy this form, and let's go to the header.blade.php, and just build here, I'll paste over here this, and here we have the link href logout. Let's go here and I'll paste here. Okay, that's fine. And then we'll have on click, and we have this. So here we'll have the on click and document.element logout form. So this form is now a logout form, and whenever we click this form will be, whenever we click this form will be submitted. Okay, and then we'll have logout. So let's go here, let's refresh, and first here we should get our name. So here will be auth username. Let's get auth username, which is the current logged in username, and that is admin. So we have now logout. If you click logout, this is logout now. Now let's make an admin middleware. So we'll make a middleware, and then we'll protect our routes. Okay, so let's write a command to make admin middleware. So php addition make, and then we're going to make middleware. So middleware middleware and admin. So it will make create the admin middleware. So if you go to app as http, we should see this middleware. So in the app as http, we have the middleware, and in the middleware we have the admin middleware. Okay, so here we have to write the condition. So if the user is admin, if the user has is admin equals to 1, then he is admin. So we'll will allow to use the particular routes. If not, then we'll redirect user to back to the login page. Okay, so once we write a logic in the middleware, we'll register that in the kernel.php, which is just here. And once we register that, we can use that. For example, you can see a lot of route middleware here, like auth, right? So we can usually write, so we have written auth right here in lot. This auth middleware is also used here. So you can see we have the middleware and we wrote here as auth, right? So this auth middleware basically checks whether the user is logged in or not. Similarly, we made our custom middleware and we want to check if the user type is admin or not. Okay, so let's write logic here. So the logic will be if auth user, that's the current logged in user, and auth user, we have each admin is a DM and admin. If it's equals to 1, then we'll give user to assist the next request. Otherwise, we'll return to the login page. So return our redirect the login page if user is not admin. And we have to import here auth. So let's go here and use auth, and this will give the full class name, that is element/support/fasket/auth. So now this is fine. The second step is to go to our kernel.php, which is below the middleware here, and in the route middleware, since we are putting our routes, we have to define this here. So I'll give as name as admin. You can write anything, admin, and I'll give /app/http/middle middleware, and the class is, we don't need this, and the class is admin. So here will be admin and class. Fine. So we have registered our middleware. Now we can use this middleware easily. So we can use anywhere. So we are interested to use this middleware here, right? So we have a prefix as auth, and we have a category, subcategory, and child category. So this should be created by only admin. So we want to use this middleware here. So let's make a middleware, and we'll give here this as ADM and admin. Fine, that's all. Now let's try. So let's start our server. So PHP addition serve. Let's go. Reload. And I'm not admin. So if I'm not admin, if I try to assist this page, auth, then still I'm able to access this page. So let's see what's the reason here. So we have a prefix auth, and we have a middleware, middleware as ADM admin, and in the kernel.php we have admin app/http middleware admin, and in the web.php we have that, and in the admin, let's see the logic. So auth user, and auth user is admin equals to 1, then yes, otherwise login page. This is absolutely fine because our auth is outside of the middleware. So you can see here we have auth. So I'll cut this here and I'll put it within the middleware. So we have already prefixed as auth, so we don't have to keep again auth. So it will be auth. And now if I try to refresh, then it will redirect back to me. Okay. So because I'm not an admin, right? So I'm a normal user, I can create ads and stuff like that. So let me log in as the admin. So adm and admin @gmail.com, password password. I'm logged in, and now I should be able to visit auth, and I can. So I can do any stuffs here. Okay. So everything is fine, and if I go here back and if I'm admin, I should see dashboard, not ads. Okay, so let's see the condition for that. So let's go to the app.play.php, and here we have ads. So here I'll check if auth check and auth user, we have each admin, each admin admin equals to 1 if this is an admin. So if the user is admin, then we'll show user as dashboard. So let's go and let's give here as auth or something like that, auth, and let's see category or something, or you can just give as auth. That will be absolutely fine. So this will be dashboard now, ds as dash voar board, and inif will be just below here, and else will be here, else. So if user is admin, then we'll show dashboard, otherwise we'll show the ads for the normal user. So I am admin, so I should see dashboard. Refresh, and you can see I have a dashboard, and I can create a category or anything. Okay, and if I'm log out from here, so let me log out and let me log in with the normal user. Now I can see ads. That's fine. So from this section we are going to implement one of the most important feature in the classified as system, which is the matching system, where one user can message to another user who owns the product and get the detailed information about the product. So if you go to one of our product, we'll have here message if user is logged in, and he should be able to message to the seller, okay, and the conversation starts between them. So in this first video we'll make a migration file, we'll make the model, and we'll make the controller. Okay, so let's start. So this is my one of the terminal where I'm running npm run watch, and here is PHP annotation sharp. So I'll close this, and then I'll make the table PHP annotation I'll make model, and the model is message, and I'll make the migration file as well. So now I should have the migration file and the model. So let's go to the model. So I have a model here, it has messages. So let's write table, and then so I'll write integer, integer. We'll have a user underscore ID. User underscore ID is the person who sends the message, and table integer, integer, and we have a receiver underscore ID, receiver underscore ID. Receiver underscore ID, the user who received the message, and this both ID belongs to the ID in the users table. Okay, later on we'll set up a relationship between them, and we'll have also the table integer, again we'll write integer, and we'll have the add ID. That means whenever user first send the message, then we'll store the advertisement ID so that a seller know about which item that another buyer is interested with the help of this add ID. Okay, and it will be nullable because we want to store this add ID only one time. Okay, in the first message. So we have a add ID, and now we need to have a message. So here will be the message tab table, and then body, sorry, string, and then we'll have a body, body, body. Okay, now we'll migrate this, and this is fine. Now we have to migrate this, so let's migrate. So PHP artisan migrate, and now I have the messages table here. So I should have messages table, and here the message table, and I have user ID, receiver ID, add ID, and body, which is the actual text ID, and this add ID can be nullable. Okay, so the second thing is to go to your model and find out the message, and let's make this fillable, or let's make this, you can also make this as guarded, guard guarded, so that we can insert data into our table. And the final thing is to make a controller. So let's make one dedicated controller for handling this message. So PHP addition make controller, and I'll make this send message controller. Okay, send message controller, and let's start our server PHP addition sharp, and let's go to the web.php now, and let's make one let's make the route that renders the page where we can show the messages. Okay, so for now we can load a component here. So let's go to the we have already that page. Let's go to the send message controller and send message controller here. Okay, so we have a message controller, so we'll make all the methods here. For now we'll make the component, just a small component just to test here. So within the component here, I'll make the component as message.view, and if I open the message.view, I can write here template, and then I can give some deep. Okay, and then I'll write here script. Okay, fine. Now here will be the send message, something like this. And let's go to the app.js and let's copy one of these and then paste over here. So we load this message component now. So I'll write here message, message message, and this is message.view, message message.view. Make sure npm run watch is running, and here you can see I got a success message here. And now my task is to show this component in this page, in this page somewhere here. Okay, so just below the username, which is this name, I can write here I have a p tag here, so within the p tag I'll write this. So later on we can adjust. For now let's load anywhere. Okay, so message message slash message. So we are loading our component here. Now we should see our component there, and you can see here send message. Okay, now whenever user click this send message, I want to pop up the model. So for that I'm going to use bootstrap, and if I type modal model, then I see here varieties of model, and let's go here, and so let's see this. That's fine. And okay, we can use this model. So first thing is I'll copy this. Okay, I'll copy it, and then I'll go to my message component, and then I'll paste over here. Let's format this, and here I'll write send message, and button I'll write danger, and okay, and then we have to copy the model, rest of this model, and then let's go here, and just below the button we'll write this here. Okay, and here it will be send message, message. Here will be close. Here we will have a body, and let's say text area. Let's keep txt text area, and let's get a class form control, control control, something like this, and you can let's get a placeholder. Please write your message, and send message to seller, something like this, and I think that's fine. And let's reload this, and we have send message. So if you click here, then the models will pop up and user can send messages. And final thing here I like to do is I'll show send message only if the user is logged in. Okay, so let's check that. If user is not logged in, later on we can show the login and register button. For now let's go here and let's check if user is logged in, then only I want to load this component. So make sure you are logged in to check this component. So auth check, check. If auth check, then only I'll show this. Later on when you finish all this stuff, we can write else statement and we can show login and registration button. So now user is logged in, so I can set this one. So this much for this video guys, and I'll see you in the next video. So now let's work on this small message component. So first thing is I like to display the name of seller here, and you can see I have changed the button. This will be now button danger, and I want to also display the name of seller here. So this is the one component, message component, small component, and this is the show.by.php. So how to communicate between these? right? Because we have to transfer our seller name from show.blade.php to this component. And we can easily do that because in the show.blade.php we are loading the message and we can pass some properties here, and we can receive that elements as a property in our message.blade.php. Before that, you can see here I make their button butter danger, and I want to display this pop-up in the center, so I can write model dialog and then model dialog center, CENTERET center. Okay, now this should display it in the center, and you can see center. So before we pass the props, let's see about the camel case and kebab case. So whenever you write something like this with a dash, this is the kebab case, okay? And you know the camel case is something like that. So when you pass element as a kebab case, you should receive props as a camel case. For example, if this was as, say, this is the block, is the component, right? Is a component, same like we have a message component in the show.play.php. And if it was passed here like is dash published, then we'll receive this as a process is published in a camel case. So if you're still not sure what I meant to share here, then let's check it and let's do something here. So let's say I want to pass something title, T-I-T-L-E, title, and this is title, this is title. So I need to pass this in our message component, and I have to receive this title as a props. So here I'll go in the message component, and here I'll declare the props, props props, and then I'll write this as title. Okay, and then I can display this here. Let's say in the seller, here I'll write title. And now let's go here, and you can see we got this message as title. So we pass in this way. So what if it was something like this? So let's go here, and if it was like title and name, and if you go here, we don't get anything. We don't get anything because we are passing as a kebab case, and now we should receive this as camel case. And here now we have to write name. This is now camel case, and this is now camel case. And if we reload this and check this, and you can see this is title. Now we got this. I hope you got this idea about this. So now first let's get the seller name. So I'll write here SELLER, seller name, and seller name is this name. This is the guy who is selling this laptop. Okay, so here we'll write the seller name. Okay, and now we have to write this here, seller name, SELLER, seller name, and copy this seller name, and here should be now seller name. Refresh this. You still don't get seller name because now this is the dynamic content, so we have to, you go here and we have to bind this, okay, so that we will know this. So give two column, and we have seller name. So in the message, here is the spelling mistake. Here we have triple L, it's the seller name, and here as well. So seller, SELL, seller name, and now we should able to see the seller name, and here you go. So send a message to seller name, send a message to, and the seller name. Okay, now similarly let's pass some other props as well, because we need more props here. So we need a user ID, and that is the currently logged in user ID. Similarly we need the receiver ID, that is the user who advertised this ads, that is the seller, and then ad ID. Okay, so let's use some more other props. So now here we'll use bind user dash ID, and it's the auth user ID. We can also get this from the controller directly, but let's do from here. So auth user ID This is the auth user ID is the current logged in user. We're passing this as a user ID, and then we'll give another, we'll bind another property that is a receiv receiver ID, and this is the advertisement and the user ID. This is the advertisement, user ID is the receiver ID. And then finally we need the ad ID, so we'll write ad dash ID, and we'll write this as advertisement, and then ID, this is the advertisement ID. Save this, and we have to receive these three props: user ID, receiver ID, and ad ID. So let's go here and let's receive user ID as a camel case, receive receiver, receive receiver ID, and add ID, and give a command. So this should be fine. So refresh this, everything is fine, and you can also check this, all the props here. So if you want to validate, you can check all these things: user ID and receive receiver ID, and other thing is we have add ID. So let's check this prop, and if I click here, and you can see this is firstly the user ID, the second one is the receiver ID, which is 2, and the final one is the ad ID, and you can verify ad ID from here also. So this is product/9. Okay, and in the next video we'll send the message. Now we are in the interesting part of our application where users should able to send a message from this text box. Okay, so let's start and let's make the route first. So I'll make the post route. So let's make route, and this will be the post route, and I'll give this as stat conversation, 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 and send message controller, and give the name as stat start conversation. Okay, so let's copy this method and let's go here, and now we should able to start a conversation between two users. So public function, so from now two users should able to chat with each other, and here we'll write a message variable, and we'll write a message and create, and what we store. So we have user, we don't store now ad ID. When communication begin, we are not storing any ad ID because we are not displaying the ad information every time. Okay, so now we don't store, only first when they have a first chat, then only we'll store the ad ID. That's why we have a different route here now. So user ID and receive receiver underscore ID, and receiver underscore ID will receive this as a request, and receive receiver ID. So let's include the request here, request, and let's use the auth here. So use auth, eliminate support cascade auth, and here the body. So I'll use this as, I'll get this as a request body is the message. Okay, and then we can return the response, and return $message. Okay, now let's go to, sorry, this is message. Fine, now let's go here and let's go to our text area first. So let's go to the text area. So this one is the text area. Here we have the message body. Okay, this one is the text area, and we have the view model body. So if you have not mentioned the view model as body, please mention this as a vModel as body, vModel body, and I'll define this more body here, body body. So make sure you have written this vModel body, okay, in input type here. So vModel body, and we have here model edge body, and now here in the scene, let's make the click event. Shall I get click dot prevent, and we'll make the function as stat conbarsat conversation, or start chatting, or start chat, start messages, whatever you like. Okay, or let's try send message to make super simple. Send message, message, send message. Now we'll make this, we'll make the method send message, and so let's give a lot, and let's check whether we hit this method or not. So refresh, click any one of these, send, and we're getting okay message. That's fine. Now we'll post axios.post. We'll transfer this data to our endpoint, which is the stat conbarsat conversation, start conversation, and we'll pass the parameter like body, which we get from this start body, because we have a vModel body in the text area, and we have a body here defined, and that will be updated at every times, and we can simply get pass this as a body. Okay, and we need the receiver ID as well. So receive receiver ID. I'm getting my endpoint as a receiver ID, and this is the dish dot selected user ID. Whenever user click this particular message, a particular user ID, user this one, will store this user ID. You can see we have stored this user ID, selected user ID. Now we can pass that selected user ID here, and we can get this as selected user ID. And then response, response, and it's response. And what we do first thing is that this dot, we have messages, we'll push this, we'll push this response, all the response dot data, it has message, and we'll empty the body, body. Okay, so now let's try this. Refresh, let's go here and let's give another one more time, hit, and it seems like nothing has happened here. And if I go here, nothing had, and you can see one more time, it's going on. If I try this, but it was not updated live, right? So right, test, send, it was sent here, but it was not pushed here. If I refresh here, and if you go here, we will get the test, but it wasn't pushed. The reason is that we are displaying here name as well. You can see we are not displaying only the message, we are displaying the name also. So what we have to do is, whenever we return the response, we do have to load the user also. And we have here in message.php, we have the user, so we need to load the user information. So along with the message, I'll write a load, okay, and load, and we can load the user, user. So now if you go and if you see in your in a network tab, you'll see, obviously you'll see the user as well, user loading as well. Okay, so let me go here, inspect, and network tab, refresh this. Let's go here and user, let's give some hi, and you can see this was pushed here, and now you can see we're getting the users, we're getting the message also, and we're getting the user also. So absolutely fine. So again, another MESSAG message, and you can see another message. Great. Last video we sent the message, and in this video we'll design a chat box using the Bootstrap where user, buyer and seller will communicate. Okay, so in probably in 2 videos we'll finish designing chat with the Bootstrap. And if you don't like to design, then you can get this code from the design folder here. You can see in the design folder in the resource of views design, and you have a chat.html. You can simply copy this. Okay, so now let's start. So before doing that, here I like to validate if user is submitting something blank, then let's not send a request to the server. So we'll check here if this dot body equals to null or something, then we'll simply allot please write your message, something like this, and then return. Okay, and let's refresh this, and if I don't write anything, then it simply give me a simple message. Now first thing is to make the route. So let's make the get route, and this will be the messages and index, and we'll have a middle layer auth here. You can also simply paste this auth here. Okay, auth, and let's go here and let's make the method that will render the view where we'll load our component. So index, and here we'll write return view message, MESSAG message dot index, and in this index page we'll load our component, and we'll make that component, and then we'll load there. So obviously you can copy all the code from here for the component. And now let's go here, let's make the folder in the views folder. I'll write message, and then in the index dot blade.php, and here will be something like index, and here we'll load our component. Now let's go to the messages, and you can see index. Now let's create the component. So we'll go here and he'll make the component, name it as conversation, conversation conversation.view, and template, and then we'll have the script. Okay, and now we have to register this component. So let's register this component. So let's write here div and class row and component chat, or chat component and thing. And now we need to register this component here. So I'll copy one of these and paste just below here, and I'll write conversation, conversation, copy this conversation, and let's go to index, and here we'll load this component conversation. Okay, so we loaded here. Now we should see component chat, everything is fine. Now what I like to do is, so in the left bar I like to show the list of username, and on the right side we'll have the text, and on the footer we'll have a chat box, okay, where the user can type and send a message. So this is one, this window will be another, and this will be a small chat box. So now let's start design. So we'll make a very basic type of design, and you can get this all code from the design folder. In the resources views design folder you have a chat.html, you can also copy from there. Okay, so let's make div, close the div, and class call md2. Here we'll show the list of users, and we'll make another div, close the div, and here we'll make the div class call md10. Okay, and below it we'll make the text box. For now let's work on call md10. So we'll have the div, and we'll have a class card, and we'll give here the card header div, close the div, class card dear header, and text center, 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 text center, and let's give the span, and let's give something like chat here, or chat something, and something went wrong, I think, so it's highlighted. So div md here, div class card is here, this div, so we have two divs, it's to be one. Okay, save this, and sorry, this is the row, sorry, one div is missing here, div, close it, and let's save this. Still something is wrong, so div class row, this is closed here, and this card, this is closed here, this is closed here, this closed here, this is closed, this is closed here. So we have to give here slash span, sorry, slash span, and save this. Now everything is fine. So if you refresh, then you can see like this. Okay, now so we have here chat, you can see here we have a chat here, we can give any message there, and within the card we can make a card body. So this is the card, and here I'll make a card body. So div class card body, and so we have a card body, and we can give some custom class also. So here I write chat, I can write this as a chat body or something, chat msg, or a chat message, and here I'll give the UL tag, close this UL, give the class edge chat, and we'll give the list tag li, close this li, and here we'll give the class edge, let's make this edge center, clearfix, clear clearfix, and so we have this, and here we can display the image. So I'll make this span, close this span, and here will be the image of that sender. Okay, and within the li again we'll make a div, close the div, and let's give the class chat body, chat body, and clear clearfix, and now let's check this. So you can see we have this one, we have a card, we have a list of user, we have image here, and we'll have a date here, and just below there we'll have a text. Okay, so in the chat body we want to display the name of the user who has sent a message, and we want to display the text, right? So let's make a div and close the div again, and since we have a chat body, now we have a class edge header, and we'll write a clearfix header, and within the header we'll have the strong tag str and strong, open and close the strong tag, and here will be the name of user we have sent that message, and outside of this we can have the small sml small, close the small tag as slash sml small, and here we'll actually display the date. So small, and let's give the class edge. I'll move this to the right. Text muted, muted, text muted, and within this we can make a span. So I'll make here a span, 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 and let's give the class span, and here will be date. This is the date when this message was sent, and our small is also closed here, and this div is closed here, and within here in a p tag here I'll display the message, message message. So now refresh, and this is how we can see. So image will be here, date will be here, and the message will be here. Let's copy this one and let's make for, let's say this is, if this is from the sender, then we have to make from the buyer as well. So I'll copy all of this, and now this is from the buyer. So here the message, here we can give the something class like chat image, img image, rjt write, clear fix, mx2. So let's copy this and we keep in here as well. So it's the class. Let's copy this one and let's keep here as well. So here we don't write right. This will be by default in the left side. And we have a chat body here. We have the header and we have the name here. So name is in strong tag. Let's give the class for this name. CLSS class, and the class will be, I want to display this is in the right, primary font, and here is the name, and we have a date, and finally we have the message. So if you reload, then you can see, and later on when we apply the CSS, this will be on one message from the sender will be here, and message from the receiver will be on the other side. Now let's display the JR small text box so that we can enter the message. So we close this here and we close it here, and this is closed here. Okay, so here will be the div class footer. So div class car footer. So let's check whether it is in the right place or not. And yes, this is within the right place. So now we can make a text box here. So here I'll make the input, and type will be the text, type txt text, and let's give the class form control control control, input input sm, and placeholder, please write your message, message, please write your message or something like that, and close it here. So this will be our text box, and here we'll make the span, and let's give the class as input group input group button, and here we'll make our button to submit this text, button class button primary, primary, and here we can write something like send Okay, so if we go here and if we refresh, then you can see this one, but this is coming down. So let's fix this. So what we can do here is we have a card footer, and then this within this input group button, class button primary, and send, and span is closed there, and the button is closed here, and we have a span tag that is closed and that is within the button. Okay, so wrap this within input group. So div class input group and close div somewhere here, and I'll format it. So now everything should be fine, and everything is fine, and in the next video we'll apply the CSS. Come back guys, now let's apply the CSS. So before applying CSS, here you can see I have a chat body clear fix, and here also I have a chat body clear fix for buyer, chat body clear fix. So I want to apply the different colors, so let's make this different. So I'll make this a chat body to clear fix so that we can apply a different background color. Okay, so now here we'll have the style. So let's make the style here, and the first we start from the chat. So let's go here, we have the chat, we have the we have a chat, and we have a chat message. Okay, similarly inside that we have a sender, and we also have like buyer, everything this is within the chat. So let's start from the chat. So chat is our class, so chat, and let's style style, I'll give none, and then margin 0 and padding 0. So save this and reload this, and you can see the dot point is now removed because we have applied this as style as none. And chat li margin button. So you can also copy this all code from the design folder in our project design. You will see the chat.html. You can copy from there as well, or you can follow the video. It's up to you. Padding button, 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 padding button. Let's give the 5 pixel, and margin top will give this 80%. So margin top, let's give 10 pixel, and let's give the height edge the height as 10 pixel, and width. So what will the width of the chat box? So width of chat box, let's make this as 80%. Okay, so now after this, if you save this and if you reload, then you'll see the width of chat box, that is the 80%. And now we'll fix this with dash css. So now here dot chat li dot chat body, and for the paragraph opening and closings, so something wrong here. So let's see here. So we close this here, we open and we close this here, and we have closed this here. So what's the wrong? Chat li dot chat body p. So if I remove this, then everything is fine. So let's see chat and close. So it's showing something wrong here. Li. So let's keep something. So I think it will be fine if I give the margin 0. Okay, fine. And we have the message as well. So chat message, I think this is the main div. Here we have a chat message. You can see within the card body we have the chat message, and everything is within the chat message. So chat message, let's design this, and our overflow we should have a scroll, right? So we'll give overflow y as scroll so that the user can scroll and see the messages. And let's give the height this as 350. You can also give the min height, but since we have a scroll we can give the height, fixed height, that is 350 pixel. Okay, that's fine, and we'll have here a scroll as well. Okay, chat message is done. Now dot chat message, we have chat image within chat message. There's a chat img. This is for image. Let's make width as 50 pixel and height as 50 pixel and height as 50 pixel. Okay, again we have the chat chat image, chat circle, chat message, within the message chat message, and we have a chat image circle, image CIR CLE circle, and let's say border radius 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 50%. Let's look at the 50% percent. Okay, so save this. Since we don't have image here, so we'll not see anything. If we had image we would see that. Okay, so image circle, so when you get the images we'll definitely see this as rounded by 50%. Now we have a chat again, and message. Within chat message we have again chat image C chat img, and we'll display inline block. Yeah, let's look at block, display inline block, chat message dot chat body. Now we are within the body, which is a card body, and here we'll display inline block, which is here. We'll give the max width as 80%. We'll give the background color, let's give background color as hash ff and C195. This will be the background color for one of our chat message. Border radius 12.5 pixel and padding 15 pixel. So this is actually from the sender. So if you see, you can see in this way. So still we have to apply the CSS so that we'll see this nicely. Show chat, we are still in the chat message, and now chat. So we do have here chat body, chat message, and chat body 2. We made this a chat body 2. You can see a chat body 2, and this is within the chat message. Okay, so let's go here and let's apply for that chat message 2, and we can give display inline block. We can give the width of that chat. Let's give this as 80%. Now similarly we can also give the background color for this message. So let's save this and let's see what we can see here. And this is what we see. Background color, let's make this as max width, and we'll give the background color as CCC, and then we'll give the border radius view dear border radius, let's give 12.5 pixel, and give the padding 15 pixel, PAD and the padding 15 pixel. And now we have a chat message. So we do have a chat message here, so everything is within chat message. We have the sender, right? We have the buyer, we have a class like chat buddy too, and everything is within the chat message. So we'll include this chat message dot chat buddy. I'll give here strong and margin at 0. Now we'll start this chat message again here, chat message chat and dot sender for sender, text align, align. Let's make this right, and float right, float also right. So if we check this, then you can see the sender is floating right and another is in the left, and this is what we want. Now again we'll give the chat message, and now this is for, so this was for the sender. Again this is also for sender, and this is for the B, and text align will give text edge left. Okay, text is on the left. So everything is fine here. Now let's do for same thing for like similar type of thing for the buyer as well. So buyer buyer, and for buyer we can give text align to the left and float left, FLOAT, float left. Again chat message dot left, float left. Similarly we'll give the clear fix, we have the clear fix, and we'll give the clear fix clear, clear fix class, and we'll clear the both. So now if you look this, and this would be much better. Still this is moving in this way, so let's copy and make this right, chat message right and right. And final thing is to copy the chat buddy and make this as 2, because one is from the sender and one is from the receiver. So this is chat message chat buddy 2, and let's give the different color, and the color I like to give is the FFC195. Okay, now let's check this. Okay, now this is much better. So this may be from sender and this could be the buyer. From the next video we'll implement how we can send these messages. Okay. Welcome back, guys. In the last video we designed our chat box with a bootstrap, and this was the final thing we made. So if your design is still not working properly, then you can grab all this code from whenever you download this project. You get all the project code, and in the resources we have the views folder, and in the views folder we have a design, and we have here chat.html. Actually I gave it an extension as .html, but this is a view component. You can grab all this view component which has also CSS, and you can paste in your conversion.py, okay, and you'll have the same design as mine. Now in this video we are going to do something tricky things. We're going to face a list of users here that has a conversation, okay. So it's tricky because we're not going to face the users from the users table. If we have to face the users from the user table, then it's very easy. Just we need to face the user. We have a user, we can easily get that, but we're not fetching for the users table, and it doesn't make sense because the communication, all the communication are stored in the messages table. So let's go to the messages table here. All the conversations are in the message table, and here we have the user ID, and which is the sender ID, and receiver ID, right? And this both ID belongs to user table. So we are fetching the users from this table, and so it's a bit tricky. And the reason it's tricky is because as you can see that we have a user ID we should relate it to the user table and find that user ID, and we should have receiver ID we should relate it to the user and find the users based on that user ID. And we may have, again, you can see 4 2, and in the second row also we can have 4 2, right? In this way 4 may be asking message to the receiver with ID 2 many times. So in that case we may get a same user multiple times. That means duplication, right? So we need to avoid those things as well. Okay, so this is gonna be a little tricky, so feel free to pause the video, feel free to ask me if you have any questions, feel free to Google, or feel free to go to the documentation. And here I'm going to use a specific keyword called map. Map is used in the collection, so let me show you how it works. So if we type your map, let me check it as a map, and so in the collection, and you can see, so map always work in the collection. So here is the collection, so the collect keyword is used, so it makes collection here, and here is a map, and it taking each item, and for each item is multiplying by 2, right? And the output is obviously 2 4 6. So we'll be also taking all the users from the messages table. We'll get all the data from here as a collection, and we'll map it, and we'll compare those ID with the current login user ID, and then we'll distinguish them as a sender or receiver. Because let's say I'm logged in with this user, Madonna Pate, a random user, and I'm messaging user with the user ID 2, right? And that user is Valentina Patterson. So in my dashboard I should see Valentina Patterson name, not my name, because I messaged that user, right? And whenever Valentina Patterson logged in, he should see my name in his dashboard, and whenever he click my name, he should be able to see all the messages, right? So things gonna be a little tricky, and we have to also set up a relationship. So let's start. So first thing is to make a route. Let's go here and make a route that returns all the users. Route get, I'll simply make this as users, and send message controller, and I'll give this a chat with this user, chat with this user, chat with this user. Okay, so whenever user click, he can chat with that user whenever he clicks the username. So now let's here write a public function, chat with this user, and okay, and then first I have to get all the messages that I have sent to this particular users. or I should get all the messages that has been sent to me. Okay, so I'm user ID 4. I should get the all the messages that I have sent to the user because I'm user ID 4. Or if my receiver ID was 4, I should get all the message that belongs to me. Okay, so for that, let's write a query. I'll make this as conversation and message, and make sure that you have a namespace, and let's write a latest. Let's abort this for now, it may create a confusion for you. So where user underscore ID equals to auth user ID, or you can also write auth ID. So I'm grabbing the message where user ID is equals to auth user ID. That means this message was sent by me to particular user. I'm grabbing that message. Or where receiver receiver underscore ID equals to auth ID. That means if someone has sent me, I'm grabbing that message also. Okay, and then get, right here, get. So this is very simple query. We're not doing a lot of stuff. So just I'm getting a message. If that message was sent by me, that my ID to someone, I'm grabbing that message. Or someone sent message to me, I'm also grabbing that message. Okay, so if we go here, currently we have only one. So users, I didn't say anything. Let's go here. So users get. So I think I haven't written here anything, so let me return this. So if I return this, then okay, I can see this. Okay, so I have a JSON formatter, so I can see in a nice way. So I'm getting this user underscore ID is for receiver ID 2. So this message was sent by me to the receiver ID 2. So I get this message. Let's say user underscore ID is 2 and this is now 4, and I say hi. So now you can see. So this message was received. Sorry, this is not 5, this is 4. So this message is received by me, which is user underscore ID 4, and this was sent by user underscore ID 2. So I should grab this message also, and you can see I get that message well. Okay, so from here what is clear is that I chat with the user with the ID 2, so I should see his name on the dashboard here. And whenever user with ID, receiver with ID 2 logged in, he should see my name in his dashboard. Okay, so we got the collection. So this is the collection. So let's not return this, just was to test. Now from this I want to get the receiver and the user. So here I'll make the users as a variable, and I'll write a conversation, and then now I'll use the map. So I'll get each and every item from here, and I'll write function, and let's pass here conversation, and this will be callback, and here now I'll compare if this conversation, and in the conversation we do have a user underscore ID, that you can see we do have a user underscore ID, if that equals to the auth ID, so from the collection we are getting each and every item, and in the collection we have user underscore ID, and if that is equals to the auth ID, so let's give this auth ID, then what? So if then equals to auth, then we'll return conversation, and then here we'll write receiver, receiver. So receiver is the relationship that will set up, that will be in our message table, because this we're grabbing everything from message. So if user underscore ID is currently logged in user ID, then that the user is a receiver. We don't have to write else. You can directly write here return conversation, otherwise he'll be the sender. Okay, and then now we'll return the user. So if you are not clear about these things, then you'll be clear very soon. So now we have to make a two method, that is receiver and sender, in the message.php, which is our model. So let's go to message.php, and here I am in message.php, and here I'll make the public function. Let's make sender. So sender is a user, right? And it is in the message table, and definitely it belongs to the users table, right? This belongs to the user class. Okay, and let's import this user here, app slash model slash user, and similarly let's copy this and this as now receiver, RECEIB receiver. Okay, so now let's refresh this. So if I refresh this, then you can see, so I got Valentine Patterson name because I have sent message to this user. I'm logged in as user with ID 4 and have sent message to user ID 2, and I'm also getting message from same user. So in my dashboard I should see the name of user with ID 2, and that is Valentine Patterson, and it's working perfectly. And if I log in as with the user ID 2, I will see this name, user with ID 4. That will be this one. Okay, so this is fine, everything's fine. And let's say that still one thing is not fixed here. We have to fix that. Let's go to again in our database in the messages. If you go here, and so 4 is sending message 2, right? So I'm the user of the 4. If I send again next message to the user 2, what is the price? PRSA price. Save this, and now what do we expect? So now if I refresh, then I'll see 2 times same user 2 times because I have same ID 2 times, right? So this is the duplicate, and we need to filter this, and we can easily do that by adding the unique keyword. So copy this, and then here we can write unique, UNIQUE, unique. Save this, and let's go, and you can see I got only 1 time. Great. In the last video we faced the user, and in this video we saw all this user. Okay, so now let's go to the messages, and here we'll show the list of users. So first thing is to make the route that returns the user. So I want to show the user, and I also want to show the message related to that user. Okay, so this route will be the route that will be responsible for showing the messages whenever user click that user ID. So this ID is a user ID, and here will be the send message controller, and let's give the name as so message, so MESSAGS messages, and we'll make this so messages here. So public function so messages, and obviously we need a request and $ID. So whenever user clicks the particular ID, will show the messages. Now let's go to the conversation.view, and let's grab all the users since we have API that returns the user. So let's grab the user. So let's make the data on return, and let's make the users array where we will push all the users that we get from our API, and whenever page mounted we'll push the user there. So right here mounted, and write axios axios dot get, and it is the users, then respon is a response, and we'll push this into our users array response dot data. And now we should, so what's wrong here, data is here and return here and mounted here so this should be, sorry, this should be this one, this, this should be fine. Okay, this is fine. And now we have all the users there, and this is where we get all the list of users here. So if we do users, and we should see now users here, and you can see here we have the users, one user. Now let's get this user. So I'll make the p tag here and vfar, and here will be the user index in users, and let's give the key which is the index, and here we'll display the username, and we'll also have the anchor tag. Okay, so let me display this with an anchor tag. For now, this one, close the anchor tag, and here I can write user dot name. Since we have the name here, you can see name, but if I refresh this, I won't see anything. And the reason is that in the message.php we have the relationship sender and receiver, and we have to specify this ID. Okay, so now the foreign ID in the message table will be user underscore ID, and then you can also give here ID, or you can just leave as it is, just give user ID, that's fine, user ID, and here it will be the receiver ID, receiver underscore ID. Okay, now you should see the user, and you can see here, yeah, you can see the user. Okay, so now whenever I click this user, it should show me the message here, the message that I have sent to this user, or the message that the user has, message that has been sent by this user to me. So how to do that? So to do that, we have to go here in the conversation, and here we'll write the click, we'll make the method here, click dot prevent, and let's give this show message message, and here we'll pass the user ID, user dot ID. Okay, we're grabbing all the messages from that user, and in the web.php here you can see we have the API like messages slash user slash and user ID, and we're passing this user ID. Here you can see we're looping everything, we're getting the user ID, and the user is Patterson. Here in my case the user is a Valentine Patterson. And now what I can do here is skip this, and it's fine. Now I have to make a method, so let's make the method. So here is the mounted, and here I can make method method methods. So a user, and this user will get the ID,